Slide 1. This is an analysis from my perspective as a marketing manager in the semiconductor materials sector. Today we delve into the 2026 semiconductor supply chain. Insights, focusing on the terrifying material, inflation, and the shift of winners caused by the AI supercycle. What is happening in the semiconductor industry right now is not just an economic boom, it is a critical situation where things are physically missing. This is causing the long-held industry norm that Apple is king to crumble. Who wins, who loses, and how does this impact our lives? We will dissect the depths of the supply chain from an investor's perspective. Slide 2. The root cause. Physical limits and allocation. Why is this happening now? There are two root causes, physical limits and crowding out. NVIDIA's latest chips are massive and generate immense heat. Standard substrate materials warp under this heat, making manufacturing impossible. Furthermore, factories are running at full capacity to produce AI memory, leaving no room to make the standard memory used in our smartphones and PCs. It's not about making what is in demand, but only those who secure materials can produce. Such an allocation economy has arrived. Slide 3, the material king, Nitobo's fortress. Amidst this chaos, one Japanese company has seized the ultimate pricing power. That is Nitobo. Do you know their special glass fiber called T-glass? Investors might wonder, why can't competitors copy it? It is not just about making glass fiber. It requires balancing low DF, low dielectric properties for high-speed communication with high modulus, high elasticity to prevent warping. This specific blend, which achieves these conflicting properties, is Nitobo's secret recipe accumulated over years. Even if you know the ingredients, you cannot make the same product. That is why they maintain an 80% monopoly. Slide 4. The allocation war. The physics of volume. A ruthless battle is breaking out over this T-glass. Until now, Apple was the priority customer for high-quality materials. However, the explosive demand for AI servers has flipped that hierarchy upside down. The reason is simple: area. Compare the substrate area used in one iPhone to that of one massive AI server. The difference is hundreds of times. From the perspective of Nitobo's factory, it is obvious which customer to prioritize. This is the reality of physical buying power that even Apple cannot overcome. Slide 5, memory supercycle. Next, let's look at the memory market. Here too, a special demand for HBM, high bandwidth memory, is occurring. Producing HBM requires 3 times the production capacity of standard memory. Manufacturers are dismantling standard DRAM production lines to prioritize profitable HBM. As a result, even though demand for PCs and smartphones hasn't increased much, memory prices alone are skyrocketing. This crowding out phenomenon is predicted to continue until 2027. Slide 6. Strategic winners, the bottleneck keepers. So who are the winners in this inflationary phase? It is the companies that control the bottlenecks. Nitobo, with its irreplaceable materials. SK Hynix leading the pack in HBM. And Delta Electronics solving the data center power problem. They possess technology and supply capabilities that others cannot imitate, allowing them to pass on cost increases to prices and maximize profits. Investors should look not at chip brand names, but at these rulers behind the scenes. Slide 7, the losers and risks, consumer impact. On the other hand, who bears the risk of being a loser? In the short term, set makers who struggle to secure materials. And above all, us, the consumers. When new smartphones or PCs come out, don't you feel like the features haven't changed, but the price has gone up? This is because soaring material costs are being passed on to product prices. Before we receive the benefits of AI, we will be made to pay the cost of invisible inflation. Slide 8, power paradigm, the shift to high voltage. Let's shift our perspective to power. AI server power consumption is approaching 1 megawatt per rack. At traditional 48 volts, the current is too high, making copper cables too heavy and reaching their limit. Therefore, the trend is shifting towards high voltage, just like in electric vehicles. Specifically, data center voltage is dramatically shifting from the traditional 48 volts to 400 volts, and eventually to 800 volts. Here too, lie new infrastructure investment opportunities. Slide 9, future tech, glass cores, and co-posts. Further ahead, beyond 2027, a revolution called glass core substrates awaits. Technology that replaces the substrate itself, with glass to overcome the limits of organic materials. Led by Intel, Epsolix, and TSMC, this technology will upend the supply chain from the ground up. From textile manufacturers to glass processing manufacturers, the sparks of the next struggle for hegemony are already smoldering. Slide 10. Conclusion, invest in physics. In conclusion, the semiconductor market in 2026 will be a year where physical supply capability determines the outcome rather than brand power. NVIDIA is amazing, of course, but who holds the materials that NVIDIA wants? Even if they have to beg, that is where the true investment value lies. T-glass, HBM, high voltage. Try reviewing your portfolio around these keywords.